have the tar sands surrounded.
It's been decades since there's been a crowd like this outside the White House about something to do with the environment. Since motorcade. Stop the pipeline! Yes, we can! Stop the pipeline! Yes, we can! Stop the pipeline! All right, he's heard us. He's heard us. We've given him his chance.
Yes, we can! Stop the pipeline! Yes, we can! Stop the pipeline! Yes, we can!
There's going to be 10,000 people at the White House today. That is a clear example of why the people feel that oil and fossil fuels should not be a part of our society anymore. And it's clearly destructing our society. And a lot of people are going to be there to show Obama today. We're there to support him if he's here to support us.
That would allow us to move to a clean energy future, and it would stimulate the economy. And it would put the public's interest above that of the big banks and the big fossil fuel industries. Support citizensclimately.org because they are pressuring the government to do what is in the public's interest rather than big business interest. Thank you.
I'm so sick of this nonsense about how we are the jobs killers and this whole outdated paradigm pitting the environmental against the labor movement. We are so over that. We want to join with our allies in the labor movement to reinvent the economy from the ground up because this economic system is failing everyone on multiple levels. We know we aren't the ones killing jobs. We know who actually did kill the jobs. They've got names and addresses, and there are people occupying parks and squares in protests across this continent and around the world to name and shame. They make the economy and then they pass the bill onto states and cities and towns, forcing them to lay off teachers and healthcare workers and forcing the most vulnerable people to pay for their crisis. The way we deal with this crisis that they have created is not with a few thousand temporary jobs. That doesn't begin to scratch the surface of the problem. It's by reinventing the real economy from the ground up. Rebuilding the public infrastructure so that we don't emit dangerous greenhouse gases, and that means public transit. It means rebuilding our economy so that we aren't exclusively dependent on imports that have been shipped thousands of miles using fossil fuels. That means rebuilding the food system, relocalizing economies in multiple ways. We know that the cities and towns that have done this have weathered through this economic crisis much better than those that haven't. That way lies millions of jobs. That's where the future lies. It's this idea that if this pipeline isn't built, another pipeline will be built across my country, across British Columbia, Canada, over the Rockies to ship the oil to China. Let me tell you something. Right now in Vancouver, there's a huge rally led by Indigenous people saying, no mining, no pipelines. We will stop whatever pipeline you try to build. They mean it, and they have constitutional law on their side. So as you surround the White House today, I want you to remember that we don't just have the White House surrounded. We have the tar sands surrounded. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm the preacher, and this feels like a revival for a clean energy economy. It's about politics, powerful interests. We're going to need faith. It's about economics going from short-termism to a longer-term view. But it's about morality, theology, and religion. From a bad theology, which says you control and you abuse and you pillage, to a good theology of stewardship, where our Native American friends say, you judge decisions today by their impact on the 7th generation out. It's about being so selfish that we're going to make the poorest people in the world who didn't do this pay for our affluent sins. That's selfish. We go from that to solidarity. It's a conversion. And let me say, when we talk about dependence on fossil fuels, let's put that religiously. Our dependence on fossil fuels is like a cultural addiction to harmful substances. When you have a bad addiction, you got to call for an intervention. Bill, this campaign is an intervention in the soul of the economy. I know we like to end with altar calls. That's when folks come down the aisle and make new commitments. So today, this is like an altar call to come down the aisle for a clean energy future and then go circle the White House. That's the kind of conversion I love. So I want to say, we're not going to power our lives anymore in ways that damage God's creation and God's children. The time has come, my friend, Mr. Obama, and for all of us to walk down the aisle. The time has come for conversion and revival. Can I get an amen?
Amen indeed.
Inspired by the Tar Sands actions here at the White House in August, where more than 1,200 courageous activists were arrested because of our belief in fighting this pipeline, I decided it was time to put pressure on the president from within the Democratic Party to do the right thing. Because, Mr. President, if you don't reject this pipeline, the campaign theme for next year might as well be climate change that we can believe in. Big oil has big money, but we have big voices. We have to keep the pressure on. He's listening to us. Keep up the fight. We must win. No KXL. No KXL. No KXL.
No KXL. You know what? They said that the president went off to play golf this morning. But I'm pretty sure, golf doesn't take that long, Right about now, he should be coming back home, and I'm awfully glad he heard those last remarks. And I'm awfully glad that he'll hear these next remarks, because they come from the leader of a nation older than our nation.
Stand. And back to you, Zapo. In my language, this is a good day, and I shake everyone's hand with my heart. Indigenous, these people of the land. We only have one mother that's still alive today, and that's Mother Earth. We must protect her. We must protect the water that she gives us. We have to protect the trees that are around us. Whether for Mother Earth, the trees wouldn't grow, the grass wouldn't grow. We got to protect her because she gives us water. Hey, Sapa, Makoshicha, Hemia, I am part of the land, and you are too. So ask everyone to stand together and oppose this pipeline. I love you all. Love you. Thank you.
People united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Hell no to their tar sands oil. We don't want our world to boil. Hell no to their tar sands oil. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Hey, Obama, yes, you can. Stop the dirty pipeline plan.
Mic check. Find me around.
We wouldn't have to be here today had these thugs that came to this country listen to our Indian brothers and sisters. They was telling them the same thing with no newspapers and no mics. They said, this earth do not belong to you, and we didn't listen. We say thanks to the civil rights movement, because let me tell you something. The reason they're not using dogs and hoses on you, because we proved to them that don't stop truth. We proved to them. We didn't come here to kill. We didn't come here to be killed. But if we have to die to change this nasty, filthy system, then bring it on. I want you to understand who you are. I'm so damn sick and tired of living in a country that when you get a movement going, the Washington Post or the New York Times or NBC got to define it for you. What we need to say to them, damn you. You ask us, what are we here for? Ask your mama. If I'm in a country that everybody's dying from the drought, nobody got to ask me, what do you want? We want rain. If I leave here now and get hit by a bus and I'm laying on the ground, the New York Times and NBC don't have to ask me, what do you want? I want a damn ambulance to take me to the hospital. Think about your brothers and sisters that's here. Shake hands with one another. Don't wait till you get to the White House to hold hands. And let me tell you how free we are. The President of the United States and none of his people could come out here and speak, not because he might didn't want to, the logistics. This country is set up to deal with evilness. If he was going to come here, he'd have to been told 6 months ago. They got to alert the CIA, the FBI. They got to do all kind of reconnaissance, and it would cost about $10 million. We came here for free. We didn't have to ask nobody. Do you realize how many CIA, FBI, military have infiltrated this group? We don't have to infiltrate the CIA or the FBI. And one day when truth got to infiltrate wrong, then maybe truth is not as true as we say it is. That's who you are. And don't leave here worrying about what did the New York Times say, what did the press say. The folks who doing this heard you. They don't have to read the New York Times tomorrow or turn on TV. They knew what you was coming here for before you got here. So I leave you and I tell you two things. Stop wanting to be validated by evilness. When that universal God force pick you, it leave no footprints. Understand that. When that universal force, you don't have to be validated by the New York Times or the Washington Post or a bunch of people sitting in the Senate and the Congress. I say thank to you, and two things I want you to remember when you leave here. Remember the Liberty Bell. Here. That's very important. What do the Liberty Bell represent? You had a bunch of evil old white men that wanted to create a new system, but they couldn't use themselves as a symbol because they owned slaves. They hadn't freed women. So they say, let's take this bell and let this be a symbol of freedom. And when they hit that bell, the bell cracked from the top all the way to the bottom. So their freedom and liberty represent a cracked bell. When you leave here and go back, look in the mirror. You that symbol of freedom, not no damn cracked bell. It looks like you. It looks like you. Remember that. And don't let nobody insult you talking about violence. The most violent nation in the world, when they find people that's peaceful, they want to know, as long as you keep it peaceful. Damn you, it's going to be peaceful, and you ain't got a damn thing to do with it. We going to keep it peaceful. We. And then, see yourself as a turtle. Do you know turtles outlived the dinosaurs? Huh? These big, huge things bigger than the Pentagon. Mean, everybody's scared of them, just like everybody's scared of America. But they've been gone for a billion years, and the turtle's still here. Why? What do you have to do to be a turtle? Hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and willing to stick your neck out. That's what makes you a turtle. That's what makes you a turtle. So thank you for making my birthday complete. You know, people say you're 80 years old. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear speaker. Thank you. And listen to this. Y'all will kill this pipeline, but you damn sure can't sing. Preston asked me today, so you've been fasting for 40 years. What does your doctor think? And my doctor been dead 30 years. They say you're 80 years old. You look so well. How do you know when you're getting old? Now, I want you to take this secret back. You know when you're getting old, when somebody compliment them beautiful alligator shoes you wearing and you barefooted.
Don't say we didn't give you some things to go home remembering from here. I got to tell you guys, it was the most amazing sight of my life, maybe, to walk around that whole perimeter of the White House and see you all looking so beautiful and so strong, and so many of you everywhere. It was really amazing. You could feel the power, and you could feel the kind of hope, the idea that at least for today we're still willing to consider the notion that Barack Obama's who he said he was, and that when he said those beautiful things about the climate and about the environment and about having the most transparent of governments and all those things, that he meant them, and that given the chance he'll live up to them. You know that Nebraska right now is in the middle of some kind of special legislative session trying to figure out if they can slow this thing down. And you know that people all over Nebraska are fighting eminent domain, and they're figuring out where we're going to be blocking this pipeline if it comes to that. And you know that earlier this year, at the halftime of the Cornhuskers football game, and we're sorry about that Northwestern thing yesterday, I apologize, but you know that at the halftime of the Cornhuskers game, TransCanada put an ad for their pipeline up on the Jumbotron, and half that huge stadium stood up and booed, you know, at that sign. It's motorcade. Stop the pipeline. Yes, we can. Stop the pipeline. Yes, we can. Stop the pipeline. That day in the jail, the main thing I was worried about was that maybe they were right. And the only little message I was able to kind of smuggle out to the Tar Sands Action.org team for them to spread around, I was only able to get out one little scrawled message, and I knew that people were worried about us in jail, and the note just said, "We don't need sympathy, we need company." And the next day, people showed up to get arrested, and the next day, and then all for 2 weeks, and now all over the country, and now this unbelievable crowd here today. John Adams, who you met from NRDC, who's been here since the first Earth Day, said it's been decades since there's been a crowd like this outside the White House about something to do with the environment. We are in the middle of this game now. We are in this fight so deep and so hard, and if we're gonna win it, we need you to go home from here today and fight like hell. We need you at tarsandsaction.org there figuring out how to go to the Obama office in your town. We need you figuring out how to make sure that your congressman and senator are deeply involved. We need you finding the Obama donors in your place and getting them lined up the way that so many people have. We need you doing everything that you can think of, because that's what this has been about from the very beginning. This is the definition of a grassroots wildfire movement. Nobody knew. Nobody in that building had paid the slightest attention to the Keystone Pipeline until August, and now it is the biggest environmental and political flashpoint that they have to deal with, and if we do our jobs, all of us, right, then they're going to have to deal with it in the deepest way, and that's what we need. So guys, thank you all so much for being here. Travel safe back home, and damn it, we are going to win this thing if we do it right. Thank you so much.